What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This week we are back on our 1957 GMC. In the last episode last week, we pulled apart the entire truck. We managed to get the whole chassis painted and get it assembled. So that means this week we're gonna be jumping onto the cab, which means we have a whole bunch of body work to do before we get that thing sprayed down and get it set back on our Roadster shop chassis. All right, guys, we are gonna continue here on our 57 on all of our body parts. We like some body parts here. So we have our cab here, which we've been working on a bunch. Right now it is basically all in high build primer, minus some of the new parts. Stuff like this doesn't really need a high build primer because it is hidden with fenders. Our steps, probably hit that. The interior of our cab floor, we're gonna have to prime that today with some self-etching primer. I mean, that'll probably be the end of that. We have everything seam sealed that we kind of welded in. You know, obviously this is gonna get a sound deadener, a membrane, and carpet. So we're just gonna prime it and call that a day. Our dash, all of our fab work has been high build primed, obviously with some Bondo work. Today we're probably gonna block this down a little bit, throw another coat of high build primer on it. We have our doors laid out. We got our grill, our bumper parts all laid out. Everything's been kind of body work, primed. Our hood over here, the outside has been primed, the inside is not. The boys added a little bit of support here in the middle. Everything's been seam sealed. Our front fenders are over here and our bumper. Again, everything's already been primed, minus the inside. So today we're probably gonna go ahead and hit that. So we're not running inner fenders, so you're gonna see that. So we're gonna just kind of try to make it a little bit better. So I got my two Brazilian body guys coming back in today. Romeo, you guys probably remember, he was actually around when we built Dime Bag. Great kid. He decided to go work at a body shop and do kind of really what he does. But I hope maybe one day he comes back here because I really like the dude. So anyways, enough chatting. Let's get to sanding and get this stuff ready to paint, man. What do y'all think? At this point, we are pretty close to doing final blocking. Before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and mock up our cab, our front fenders back on our chassis. So I'm also gonna be getting this thing on the lift right now and start prepping that. I kind of don't really remember what the bottom of the cab looks like, so I'm gonna get that up there. I may have a little prep work to do. It'd be nice to kind of spray some kind of bed liner or something underneath there beforehand. So let's get it up on the lift and see what we got. All right, the underside of our cab is actually really clean. Got a few little things to clean up over here. All right, what I don't have is bed liner, but what I do have is some poppy patina chassis armor. This stuff is amazing. This is gonna be perfect for underneath our cab. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this area protected. And what I like about it is it's a roll-on or brush-on product. And I do have a can of it in the spray can. So if I gotta use the spray can to get any hard little to reach areas, we'll be Gucci. So I'm happy. Let's get it done. All right, we got our Roadster shop spec chassis all dressed up and looking real sharp. Got it rolled out of the showroom and we're about to drop our cab back on there. We are going to mock up the cab with the whole front end. That way we can do all of the finishing up of our body work and block out the truck. Just make sure all of our panels are really lined up nicely. Before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and throw some plastic over this beautiful chassis because as you guys know, when they be sanding, it be getting dirty. I'm gonna go ahead and get my hood fit on and see if we're good up here in the front. We did go ahead and pick up some nice billet hood hinges. I think these are Eddie Motorsports or something. Yeah, Eddie Motorsports. So I'm gonna go ahead and put our new hinges on, get our hood back on, and kind of check the fitment on that as well. All right, we're moving along with the body work of our cab. We got our doors aligned, our hood is pretty aligned, fine tuning some of our smaller parts, and I just pulled out our AMD, all of our new bedside components. So our fenders and our bedside. So all this stuff is gonna need to get prepped for priming. And when I pulled it out, I decided I'm gonna probably go ahead and close up these holes on the bedside. All right, it is finally time to start spraying some paint on our 1957 GMC Stepside. We got our firewall prepped. We got our interior prepped. So our dash, our roof, and the back are all gonna be red. Our inner fenders in the front are gonna be red. The underside of our hood, our visor, are all set up and ready to go. Pretty excited about this. So not only do we have a brand new spray gun, professional grade 3M, which I've always wanted to get something a little nicer than all Harbor Freight stuff. These are pretty cool because they got the disposable cups, so, and the disposable tips, so you just throw all this stuff away, not as much cleaning, so that's pretty cool. We also got a brand new product by Poppy's Patina. We're gonna be spraying this down with satin, so you guys have been watching our channel for a while, you've probably seen me mixing their gloss clear and their flat out matte clear coat to make satin. Now I don't have to do that anymore. So it takes a little guesswork out, and I think it'll be a little bit more consistent. So yeah, excited. Let's get some red down, get moving on, because we are ready to start painting some white after this. That wraps up all of our red accents on our 657 GMC. Firewall came out great. Super stoked. Inner fenders came out great. The satin poppies patina laid down real nice. Interior of the cab came out pretty good. I have one little spot that I'm not happy with right there, dead center on the dash. I'm not really sure what that is. It kind of popped up after I cleared, so I'm gonna have to fix that once everything dries. I may just go back when we bring this thing to the booth on Saturday. This spot's not great, but it's pretty hidden with our bench. But yeah, I think it came out pretty sweet. That's good, that's good. Front compartment door. Our hood came out awesome. Something fell on it right here. But that's what sucks about not having a booth, man. But good news, we're gonna be painting this truck in a booth this weekend. My buddy Eric over at European Auto Body is letting me use his booth. So that's huge. So now this stuff can dry overnight. Then we're gonna have to go back and back tape it all, taping off all the red so we don't get white on it. But yeah, one step closer to being done, man. Pretty stoked. Also, I gotta say, man, I don't know why I haven't ever spent the money on a professional spray gun. This 3M gun, I actually bought it on Amazon. It wasn't even that expensive, like 500 bucks. Compared to the Harbor Freight stuff like that, night and day, man. And what's best about it is all this stuff is disposable. All you got left is the gun and the needle. And I got my Poppy's spray gun cleaner right here. This stuff is amazing. If you're painting in your shop or in your garage and you don't have this yet, I suggest you go out on Poppy's website, pick this up, man. This thing is a lifesaver. It has so much force in the spray that you basically don't even need to wipe it down. All you gotta do is spray it and it's pretty much done. So let me go ahead and break this gun down. We'll keep this thing nice and tidy for the next job. We're over here at European Paint and Body. We got most of all our parts. Definitely got everything that we need for the back section, the bed. Our bed sides are over here. Back of the bed, our steps, our fenders, our tailgate. So I think we're gonna start with that. So first step is prep, final prep, which is wiping everything down, cleaning everything, getting it real clean. So I got my pre-cleaner here from Poppy's Patina, which I put in a spray bottle with some water. Just makes it a little easier. So we're gonna give everything a wipe down with our microfiber cloth, and then I'll give it a dry wipe, and then we're gonna use our wax and grease remover. So this is our final step, and then we'll go ahead and get everything into the paint booth. Start laying down some paint, man. I'm excited. All right, after two pretty good solid days of painting, it's finally time to paint the cab. I'm gonna get this thing painted. I'm gonna touch up the top of the back of the bedside. Excited, get this thing done. After many hours of prep and a lot of hours of paint, we got our cab back. This morning, I gave our chassis a good cleaning, a little detail. Got everything looking real nice. So we're getting ready to marry our cab and our chassis. I'm excited. We don't have too many weddings around here. Do we, Andrew? Do we have a lot of weddings?
We do have a lot of weddings.
We only had one.
Last year.
That doesn't count. That don't count. Anyways, let's get this thing on and get this thing moving, would you? All right, guys, as you see, our truck has been all painted and it's put back together. Andrew's inside the cab right now. He's starting to do some wiring. So next week, we're gonna be throwing all the electronics back into the truck, as well as starting on that interior. And as you see behind me, as promised, a little sneak peek of our custom bench seat that Lee's been working on. This thing is gonna be sick. So if you guys wanna see some interior work for next week, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on all the action. We'll see you guys. Peace.